Okay, when I first started unpacking boxes in our empty nester home, I had a moment because really quickly I realized all this stuff, it was never going to fit. And I had to start making some pretty big decisions right there in the moment. Before my husband could start chucking things into the dumpster like it was a sport. So, today I want to share 10 things that did not make it into this house. And honestly, I don't miss them. Nope, not even a little. Hey there, my name is Tracy Lynn, and I teach midlife women and men how to right size their homes so they fit the lives they're living today. And listen, this whole move into our empty nester home, it was a total wake up call for me because I thought I had a pretty good handle on my stuff, right? And then we started unpacking, and suddenly I'm standing there surrounded by boxes, seeing clear as day that I had way too much stuff and thinking, what am I trying to do? This was our new house, right? Our fresh start in this new phase of life. And most of this stuff had absolutely no business coming with me. And that's when I rolled up my sleeves and started making decisions right then and there in the middle of the mess before things found a permanent spot in my house. Because once it lands somewhere, it is staying there for the next 10 years, right? So in this video, we're going to get a little honest, a little practical, and just call it like it is. These are the things that did not make the cut and why letting go of all those extra things made everything feel so much easier. Okay, let's quit chatting and let's dive in. So, the very first thing that did not make the move was my iron and my ironing board. Now listen, this one made me a little nervous at first because in the moment I remember thinking, "Wait, what if I need this someday?" Like I thought I was about to enter some kind of wrinkled clothing crisis or something. But then I stopped and thought about it. I don't even like ironing, right? I don't want to iron. I postpone it as long as I possibly can until I have a basket full of things that need pressed. And I definitely do not want to be dragging an ironing board out of a closet. So I just decided I'm not doing it anymore. Now I buy clothes that don't wrinkle. Did you know they make clothes that are wrinkle free or wrinkle proof? I think it's called. And if something needs a little bit of help, I just get my steamer and I use that. It's quick, it's easy, and I don't have to drag out a whole setup just to fix one shirt. Now I know I might be a little late to the party on this one because I feel like I was one of the last people that still ironed clothes. But the good news is getting rid of my iron and ironing board did not cause the sky to come tumbling down. And honestly, if I had known empty nesting meant I did not have to iron anymore, I may have jumped on board a whole lot sooner. But here's the thing, it's not really about the ironing board. You might not even have one, but I guarantee you've got your version of this, right? The one thing you've always had, always kept, and never really questioned. And then suddenly you realize, wait, why am I even keeping this? This is your ironing board moment. Go ahead. You've got permission. Let it go. Okay, for the next one, that didn't make it into my new empty nester home was furniture that did not fit this house. And I know this one sounds pretty obvious, but honestly, I thought it was all going to fit. I really, really did. And when we got here and I realized we could not fit our couch, love seat, and recliner in the family room, I knew a lot of this other stuff, it was never going to make it either. Holy moly, talk about a wake-up call. So instead of trying to force it, I let the excess stuff go. I kept the pieces we loved and I just moved on. And let's just say a few of our neighbors may or may not have some of our stuff in their homes right now. All right, so this next one might sound a little bit ridiculous, but you have to hear it to understand where my head was at the time. So I brought into our empty nester home 5 sets of dishes because apparently I thought I was going to be entertaining 67 people at any given time, even though I have no idea when that was supposed to happen or even how it was supposed to happen, because fitting 10 people in our dining room is even a stretch. So here's what I did. I decided to keep 2 sets only, one for every day and one for when people come over. And that's it. No stacks, no extras, no digging through cabinets trying to find matching plates. Oh, and if you're wondering how one set works for all the holidays and all the entertaining situations, here's a trick. White dishes. Yep, that's it. Solid white dishes. And then you just swap out the napkins so that they match the holiday or the thing that you're entertaining. Red for Christmas, pink for Easter, orange for Thanksgiving, a birthday napkin for a birthday celebration. Done. Because when you're living in a smaller home, you learn really quick. You do not need more dishes. You just need a better plan. All right. So this next one was my just in case stuff. And this is where I had to have a real conversation with myself because I had things I brought with me just in case I needed them someday. And one of the best examples was all the outdoor clothes from our old house where I had a farm and a garden and goats. And let me tell you something, the only outdoor activity I'm doing right now in this house is taking my dog out to do his business, which usually is 10 feet from the door. That's it. So I'm not out there doing chores. I'm not fixing fences, and I'm definitely not milking a goat at 4 o'clock in the morning. So why did I bring all of that with me? Apparently, just in case. But there's a problem with that. When you keep all this just in case stuff, your home starts to feel like a storage unit, right? I know you've heard me say that before, but it's so true. And that's not what I wanted for my home anymore. I wanted a home that actually fits my life now, not one that's holding on to a life I'm no longer living. All right, so next up is something most of us have without even realizing it, and that's multiples. And not just multiples of one thing, multiples of a lot of different things. So maybe you're like me. I had multiples of face creams, makeup, bathroom towels, sheets, and I seriously think over 27 throw pillows. Like, why did I ever think I needed that many throw pillows? And sure, when my kids were younger and I was a busy mom, multiples absolutely made sense because it made life easier, right? Now they're just a nuisance. So here's a really good example of why multiples don't work in a smaller home. I used to have a drawer full of pot holders and I kept every single one. I don't think I ever threw one away, right? I didn't care if it was stained, if it had a hole in it. I even had more than one pot holder that was burnt. I kid you not, it was actually burnt. So when we moved, of course they all got packed into a box and came along with me. And then when I got to this kitchen and my drawer was a fraction of what I had in my other kitchen, and I tried to put away my pot holders, like a third of them fit, if that, inside that drawer. So I had to stop right then and there, pull them all out, chose my favorites, the ones that weren't burnt or stained or torn. And I think I maybe kept 8 at the most. And now the drawer actually makes sense. It fits my life today because there's only 2 of us, right? So that was that one. All right. So now the next one, and this one surprised me just a little bit because I didn't bring all my old hobby stuff with me. No tools, no supplies, no paper, material, paints, none of it, because I knew I was not going to go back to it. I just wasn't. And I think deep down, I was really burnt out about it. And those hobbies, they weren't even fun anymore. They were like an obligation, right? Something I had to do. So that meant I didn't do it. And in this house, I was ready to find something new, a new hobby, something I really enjoyed and didn't require so many supplies, right? Something that fit my slower pace. So instead of scrapbooking and quilting and all the other things I did, I'm perfectly happy sitting on my back patio, wrapped in a blanket, reading a good book with a glass of wine. And let me tell you, that sounds a whole lot better than digging through a bin of supplies I haven't touched in 5 years. Okay, next up, we need to talk about this one because this is where I laugh at myself a little bit. Christmas decorations. Oh my gosh, guys, I had so many Christmas decorations. In my old house, I had downsized to 27 totes, not from to 27 totes, 27 and 9 Christmas trees, 9. And not only did my big tree not fit into this house, it was too tall for the ceiling. There was absolutely no way I was going to fit 9 trees. So now I only have one smaller tree in my family room and a tabletop tree here in my office. And now I'm downsized to 10 totes of holiday decorations, which I know is still a lot. No, I totally get it. But apparently to me, Christmas doesn't stop at my living room. It keeps going room to room until suddenly there's a Santa staring at you while you're brushing your teeth in the bathroom. Is that just me? So I did not bring every single Christmas decoration with me into my empty nester home. Yes, I still have a lot, but it's better now and it's manageable. And I actually enjoy decorating for Christmas again. All right. This next one is all the boxes of old papers that I had. So in our family home, we had this really big walk-in attic. So I probably kept more boxes of papers than I needed to. Even though I had a system in place, everything was in a box that had a range of dates on it. It was all on one shelf in the attic, so I knew exactly where everything was. The problem was I wasn't keeping up with the shredding. And that meant I had way more boxes of paper coming to this house than I should have had. So that ended up being one of the really first projects my husband and I did when we moved in here. We tackled the boxes of papers and we worked to get everything back on track with what we were keeping. So how we do it is if it's over 10 years and it's not crucial or important, it got shredded and it got out of the house. And that alone lifted a huge weight I didn't even realize I was carrying. And now our papers have a crystal clear system and a routine that happens the moment it comes into the house. So those papers stay in check going forward. Now, this next one, I think a lot of you are going to relate to because when you have a bigger house, a lot of things tend to get passed on to you because people think you have the room to hold on to them. So raise your hand if you're one of those people. Yep, that was totally us. So here's what happens. They give you all the things, right? And not because you asked for those things, but because you have the space to store those things. And that helps them get rid of those items without them having to feel guilty. And for the longest time, yes, I took those things, right? Put them in our attic. I shoved them in our basement and I just let them sit there for years until it was time for us to move. And I knew they were not coming with me in this home. So mainly because there just wasn't space for them. There was a practical reason. They weren't coming. I had no room for them. I had to get rid of them. And I think because I had a practical reason they couldn't come, it made it easy for me to let go of them. But before I did, just to make sure, I asked my family, I said, hey, you know, all that stuff you've given me over the last 26 years, I'm not taking it with me. So if you want it, let me know and I'll give it to you. And if not, it's going to donation. And they said no. So off it went. But going forward, I knew I needed to make a change on permission, right? And I had to have a few conversations with family members. And if I'm being honest, I was a little nervous to have those chats because I thought they were going to be awkward. But surprisingly, they weren't because I just told the truth. I said, we're setting up our home to fit how we're living right now. And we only have room for the items that support that life. And if I can't use what you're offering me, I'm not going to take it. And you know what? People understood. And if they still wanted that item to stay into the family, they could ask somebody else in the family that might want to take those things. All right. And the last thing I did not bring with me into my empty nester home was a decluttering approach because I'm over pulling things out of cabinets, trying to find something to get rid of, making a huge mess on my kitchen counters that might sit there for the next 3 days till I have the energy to deal with it. I don't want that kind of home, right? I want my home to be comfortable, not crowded. I want it to be cozy, not stuffed. I want it to be simple, not chaotic. So instead, I focus on choosing. I pick the things I love and I keep those. And anything extra, that's what goes. Because I don't need more than enough. I need just enough. And honestly, sometimes simplicity is the easiest way to create a home that actually fits your life today. Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found these ideas helpful, or maybe you're already looking around your house thinking, yeah, that's not coming with us either. Go ahead and hit the like button if you like this video, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I drop a new video every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and the sooner you watch it, the more people get to see it. Oh, and don't forget to grab your Right Size Living Guide. The link is in the comments below. That will help you dive deeper into this unique way of creating a home that fits your life today. All right, that's all I have for you this time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.